Hi everyone, I'm back and better than ever. I'm here to show you another tutorial. This one's called Surfaced, and at the moment I'm just priming my face. Where is my, oh here we go. Here's my other primer. So there's my Revlon Perfecting Primer. Just gonna put it all over the face here. Perfect. So for this look, we're going to use the usual foundation. So I have my Fenty Beauty foundation here, have my MAC one. Like usual, we're just going to start with our MAC one. Just going to just put that huge glob on my forehead. Oh, hello. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. And this one, super great. Okay, yeah. Okay, it's getting by my nostril. Oh my god. Oh my god. Stay still. Oh! Okay, well, that's on my shirt. Okay, and there it is again on my shirt. Okay, there we go again. There we go. Back to half normal. So we're just gonna go in with our MAC Gold Fix Plus right here. Put a bunch on. Don't make it too wet, but make it, moist. And we're just gonna go in with our foundation. Just blend her out until you look fake as hell. So, I don't know, I'm not really one to explain too much about my life, but today was my second last day of my class before the holidays. And I had woken up and I was feeling all right, was having a all right time. It was fine. I was chilling. I had a little bit of food in my room, and then I went downstairs, got some more food, came back upstairs, and then as soon as I started getting ready for class, I just started to have the biggest freak out of my entire life. I kept pacing around my room, and I was like, geez, what's wrong? And then I felt like I was gonna cry. And I'm not one to just randomly just cry out of, I don't know, out of no reason, right? It's so abnormal for me to do something like that. But then I realized, well, the thing is that with Accutane is that it can cause or worsen depression symptoms. So then I thought about it and I was like, oh my god, it's getting worse. So that's something new. Not that good, but it's something new. Also, right now we're going to be using Kat Von D L1 in Neutral in their Lock It Foundation or concealer. Anyways, so I just had the biggest freak out of my life, and but I didn't want to not go to school because a lot of my marking is because of school attendance, right? So I went to school, and then I was sitting just waiting for my class to start, and then it hit me again, and I was so upset, and I was like, oh my god, it was just the worst thing ever. And then my teacher came out. She's like, how are you doing? What's going on? And then I just kind of brushed it off because I'm like, all right, maybe as soon as we start doing makeup today, maybe I'll be fine. But then as soon as I finished setting up, it hit again. So luckily it was before class had started and like just people were kind of like trickling in. So I went downstairs and talked to one of the I guess they're like the head of the school or whatever. And I told them, I'm like, listen, I think I just need a place to just, I don't know, like a quiet place just to relax for a few minutes or so. So she let me like go into a room, and I was still like, I just started to cry, like just cry out of nowhere. Well, the thing is that I hate having to like, I don't like crying in front of people. I hate it so much because I don't want to be asked what's wrong just because when I cry a lot. So I don't want, like, when I'm crying, I don't want to be in between like sniffles trying to explain what's wrong. So that's super fun. But as soon as I like had kind of calmed down and everything, I realized that like my class is probably not over, but like probably going on to the next thing. So maybe I should just like go home. So I decided to go home, and I'm just having like a hard time, just kind of trying to relax. I had a bath and everything, and it just, man, I'm so excited to get off of these. They're really good for my skin. Like, my skin has never been better, but it's definitely the worst thing for your like mental health. It really is. It's horrid. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go into our Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette and just gonna contour as normal, maybe a little bit more heavier than you would, but contour, just do that contour. Gotta contour my pregnant forehead, just get in there and diminish all that. So that was my story for this morning and this afternoon, I guess. So that was not fun, and totally something I don't want to experience again. Anyways, but besides that, on good notes today, on good notes for once, oh, okay, well, I guess they're just gonna fall around. On good notes though, luckily, I'll be going home for the Christmas holidays. I'm really happy about that. I'm excited to see my family again. I bought my siblings, some really good presents. But I spent like a stupid amount of money on it. Just because like I didn't want to be known as, just because I'm, in college shouldn't mean that I shouldn't, give my siblings something that they'll enjoy. You know what I mean? I don't want them to be disappointed, but I don't want them to be like, have very little standards, like, oh, she doesn't have money, therefore she can't really give me a good gift, right? So I went to a local store, clothing store, which also has a bunch of other things in it. Grabbed everything that I thought everybody would like. It was amazing. And then I actually went to like other stores to go buy a few things. But I think that I got mainly everything that I needed for my family. And I'm really excited to see how they will react to it. I hope that they'll enjoy it. There we go. Also, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette again and just highlighting your normal areas. Just as normal, make her half presentable. I don't know. Go back in with your beauty blender. Just blend her down just to make it nice and interesting. Yes. make sure it's blended really good, because you won't be able to go back after you put down the powder. Anyways, I want to talk a little bit about the look that I'm doing today. This look is actually based on the computer that I have. And so funny story. So what happened was when I finished high school, I wanted to get a computer because I didn't have my own personal laptop. I had a school's laptop. Like they gave me one personally just because I was an IEP student. So I had like special needs in class and things like that. So they gave me this laptop. But also I feel like I low-key kind of fought for that laptop because I saw these other IEP students having laptops and I thought, oh my God, I kind of want one. So I went to ask about it and they actually had me do like one of my teachers actually brought down a sample of my writing and then gave it to the head office of student services. Also, we're using Huda Beauty as usual sugar cookie in their baking powder. And so what happened was they gave them a sample of my writing. And the thing is that I love writing in cursive. I'm a really big cursive writer, so everything that I mainly write is in cursive all the time. And that's just, that's just normal for me. And so I guess some teachers just don't know how to read cursive. Some teachers, straight up teachers, don't know how to read cursive. So that was kind of like a gateway to getting a laptop. And the thing is that also for these laptops, I had to take a learning course on it. Someone came in every few months or something, I don't know. And they would teach me how to use specific tools on the laptop. But I could honestly care less because I wasn't using the laptop for anything. I was just using it to watch Netflix and everything. But it was good and handy for things when I actually needed to do things because I didn't have a laptop at home, right? But that was something. But of course, after the 4 years of high school, then I had to give it back. So I asked my mother, I'm like, hey, I really want a laptop before I go off to college so that I'll be able to, have something to use for my work and all that. And so she went to go get this laptop. I forget, I think it was for Christmas or something. And she gave me this laptop, or maybe it was my birthday. And it was a new Surface laptop. But the problem with this laptop was that it only worked running on something called S. So it's like Safe Search or something. So I couldn't get on to specific things that I usually get on. And so I was really confused and I didn't know why it wasn't letting me go on it. And we actually had to go back to the store afterwards and be like, hey, listen, what's wrong with my laptop? So the guy didn't even know until he realized what the download on it was, which was S. It was running on something called S for, I guess, Safe Search. And so beforehand, though, I used to be really into, laptops and computers and everything. So I actually was playing around with it and I re-downloaded the pro version on it, and still it glitched and it did some weird things when I would go onto sites that I would normally go onto without it being a problem. So that was strange. So anyways, we ended up getting the Surface Pro laptop, which is pretty interesting. I really like this laptop a lot. It's really something else. It's like, you know, top of the line, you know. It's really fast on things. It's really good with battery, you know. And it's really good with a camera too. Make sure to contour that nose. Also, this is the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette like usual. And then we're gonna go back in with our Anastasia Beverly Hills powder bronzer and cappuccino. We're just gonna go back in with that. Just bronze up a little bit. Make me look less dead. I don't know if that's possible, but we can sure as hell try. But anyways, so when I had that issue, I was like I was really angry because, you know, it was almost time for me to go to college, right? And I had all this stuff I had to do, but this had to be a problem too, you know what I mean? So I was, you know, I was just trying to get, you know, in there and try and figure it out before I left. So that was super fun. So I ended up doing like a makeup based on this laptop, which was pretty interesting. I'm really into more of sci-fi types of makeup, more like, you know, futuristic and things like that. Ooh, now that we have the, oh, hello, orange. Hello there. Now that we have our bronzer on, I'm just gonna try and find my brush. Hello, hello, where's my brush? Oh, here it is. Oh my god. Ugh, she's hiding from me. Just gonna wipe that away. Make sure to just lighten the nose contour a little bit. Just kinda make it all go away. Perfect. Now we're just gonna go back in a little bit with our bronzer. That has orange on it. Hello there. Okay. We're just gonna, you know, at least make it visible, make it not like a crazy contrast between my, well, there she is, that insane contrast, but that's all right. Anyways, so now that we have that part done, I'm just gonna move these brushes actually, just to be safe and so I don't none of them go missing. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we are going to, let's start with our blue. So you need a small brush for this. I think I'm gonna go with, not many choices. Oh, hello. I'm gonna go with this little brush. Oh, wow, there's lots of color in that. Okay, maybe not this brush. Where's that other brush I had? Oh, hello. Come on, man. Odd. Aha! I found them. Perfect. Okay, so let's go in with our small brush. Finally. So we're gonna take, we're going to take from our Morphe 35B palette, and we're gonna take this blue right here. I love this color. Ooh. And make sure not to drop any on your foundation. And we're just going to make box-like shape right where your eyebrow starts. Perfect. Make sure to get on the lid as well. Perfect, it's getting there. Right, now the next one. Make sure that you're blending it properly. And make sure you get all that blue in there. You want to make sure that that blue is very, very, very visible. Usually I would think of using my Makeup Forever Flash palette for this, but it also would make a very big mess to my brushes. It's very it stains her. And I only figured that out after I had used it in class, and I was so upset because those were my favorite brushes. And now it's gonna be, hard to convince, other clients that nothing's wrong with the brushes. They're just stained, I swear. All right. And now we're gonna go downwards. So we're just gonna color a little bit up here, and then we're gonna color downwards just to, down here. And yes. Make sure to get right down in there. Perfect. Man, this is insane. Now I'm just gonna go in the waterline. Perfect. And now here, all the way, and just to like about the middle part of the eye, just around that area. And then just make kind of a very visible kind of stop there, Right, we're almost there. See, that's about symmetrical. to make the color very apparent. Perfect. Now that you have that color all finished with, you're not going to need it again. We're actually going to go in with a red. So this red has to be a little bit darker. No, actually, this one can be kind of red, or sorry, light. So we're actually going to go in. I'm just going to test this little guy here. I'm going with this one. So we're going to go back to our Morphe 35B palette, and we're going to take this red right up here. And we are going to, let's see. All right. We're going to start our color all the way up here. Make sure that you've given it a line. Oh boy, just dragging all of my palettes around. All right, so we're gonna continue to just go up here. Perfect. So make sure that this red is a lot, that is very visible. You don't want invisible colors or very washed colors, because that's not what it's about. Let's see. We're actually going to end it right here. Perfect. Make sure to give it that edge. Make sure to kind of give it an edge. Just go in there, fill it all up. You know, just fill her. Oh, there's glitter on that. Okay. It's okay. Anyways, so this is what it should look like. Kind of give it a little wing effect. And make sure it's apparent. There we go. Very, very apparent. So now we're gonna do the other side. So here we go. I'm gonna make sure that that wing's gonna look the same. So draw that in quick, you know. Perfect. And now we're gonna go in with the fluffy brush. Make that red very visible. Right. I'm back with this guy. Right. Now that we have that color finished with, we're just gonna make sure that these guys are gonna add up a little. Anyways, now that we have that part done, we're gonna go back in with another red. But this red has to be a little bit more darker and a little bit more muted. So we're going to use the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I think we're going to use this little color right over here just for our next part of our eye. Let's just move palettes around here. Now, This one's going to be a little bit more interesting. This one's actually gonna go down below like this. And a little bit out, kind of follow that wing pattern. And make sure that this one's also very apparent, no blending, just color. So this one's more of like a reddy brown, which is very nice. Just make sure to kind of blend a little bit underneath the eye. And then you're gonna take another brush here and you're just gonna deposit a little bit more color. Just make sure to blend underneath because that will look messy if it isn't. Perfect. Now that we have that one done, let's go for the next one. Just want to make sure that you're really getting in there. It's working quite well. Make sure to check your symmetry. This one's a little bit more, so let's fix this one with more. All right, perfect. Now that we have that color finished with, we're actually gonna go in with a more edged brush. So we're gonna take a more edged brush like this here and just kind of make sure there's no color on it. And we're gonna go in with a dark blue. So I'm going to go in with my Sugarpill Heartbreaker palette in my blue color. I really don't want to flip it over and tell you the color because it will fall. It's very, very busted, which is very, very sad. It's one of my favorite. I love Sugarpill so much. All right, so we're gonna make very light strokes. Well, not light strokes, we're just gonna make strokes. And just give it kind of like a strong illusion of like sharp edges. That's what we're kind of going for. Don't be afraid to really get in there with the color, because of course it's going over other colors, so just overlap that, you know, just make it overlap and just make sure it overlaps good though. Ooh. Perfect. We've got this type of thing done, and now we're just gonna go to the next one. So of course, you know, they don't really have to match too much, but just enough so you know it looks strong, you know, like they're all supposed to be there, right? Even if you can plan out where they go, you know, just go in lighter and then go at it later on. So make sure they get sort of a sharp edge. You know, like that. Here we go. Oh wow, hello. Make sure that when you do them, make sure you bring the color all the way up where you met those other colors. But make sure that you can still see, you know, where it is here. Make sure that you can still see where those colors have met here. Don't go over that. Perfect. A little bit more. This one's a little bit more chunky, but that's okay. It's all different and we're human, right? So we all make our mistakes. Make sure to deposit its color. Blend in. But now, because we've done that, let's just thicken some of these up. Looks a lot nicer. All right, now that we have all those done, we're going to go into a yellow. So if you have more darker brows, I'd suggest the Flash palette. But because I have very, very, very light brows, I don't even have to worry about coverage, really. So We're going to use, oh my gosh, imagine if that brush fell right in there. Anyways, we're going to use our Morphe 35B1 and our yellow one here. We're also going to mix our Huda Beauty Electric Obsessions for our yellow eyebrows. So here we go. Oopsie. Make sure you kind of give it an edge, you know, like normal eyebrows. Almost if you need to, just use it as your own eyebrow. Like, do the same kind of motion that you would with your own eyebrow. Make it the same if you have to. Follow kind of the shape of your red. And to the other side. Give it sort of an edge. You don't really need to, you know, block your brows or anything with this. Anyways, so that's the one part of it. And then we're actually going to go in with the black in our Morphe 35B palette. And we're going to give a kind of ombre effect to the yellow. But not just an ombre effect. We're actually going to go underneath the eyebrow and above the eyebrow. And just kind of make it a little bit more clean. And now for our next eyebrow. Fortunately, my eyebrows are a little wonky. I have to get them done soon. Right. I think that we've got it. Go in a little bit more. All right. I think that we've got it mainly. Yeah. Just gonna thicken up this part and this part. Come on. All right. We're getting there. Okay. I see you. All right. So now that we have our eyebrows finished, we're going to go in. We're gonna go in with 2 greens. This is gonna be super fun. So, we're just gonna do a color change. Perfect. So we're gonna go in, I think again, with our Morphe 35B palette. We're gonna use our darkest green at the bottom. You can't even see it. The darkest green at the bottom. And we're going to use this medium-ish kind of green up top. So We're going to start with our medium one. And just kind of bring it in to kind of where your contour lines would be when you do your nose contour. Just kind of bring it into there. Doesn't matter if it touches the blue, as long as you make it apparent that it's not part of the eye, it's part of the nose. And down kind of below. And to the next eye. So make sure that this is actually you know, straight on. Okay, just getting there. Right. So when it goes into the blue, just do a little bit of shading. Don't overdo it and don't make it look like the rest of the eye makeup on the eye. Just do a little bit of shading, not a lot. And I'm just gonna go back in here. It's a little bit weird. All right, perfect. Now we're gonna take our dark green, like I said earlier, and we're gonna go a little bit, we're gonna go right here. So it's not gonna be up top, it's gonna go right here, and we're gonna blend it in with our light green. So just do a little bit of blending, not a lot, but like just so you can't really see where you put it, right? Like that. You know how it gave it a little bit of definition there? So something like that. And down here. A little bit more here. Perfect. And make sure that you blend it out. Blend, blend, blend. Make sure to bring it downwards, just like your other one. And blend a little bit more. Alright. Alright, I think that we got it. I think I'm just gonna fix my green a little bit though. It's a little bit off, but besides that, yeah, it's looking all right. So I'm just gonna go back with my light green here. All right, well, good enough. All right. So now that we have this all finished, we are going to go back with our contour. So this contour is going to be a little bit different. I don't like to wash my massive brushes, so we're going to contour small. And we're going to use my Sugarpill Cosmetics, my Heartbreaker palette, and we're gonna do 2 AM on the nose. Now do a contour as you usually would, you know, nothing crazy, just contour, just purple contour, you know. Going into the supermarket with my daughter, just you know, the usual. Make sure you kind of bring it up a little bit more because you will be going in with a black later on. And now make sure that you just do some contour here. You know, just a little bit. Doesn't have to be crazy, but it's gotta be contour. Alright, that worked. That worked. I see her. Alright, next side. You know, follow your normal contour lines, which you did earlier, which is amazing. If you forgot to do that part, you're gonna have you know, kind of a hard time. Because you want to make it apparent, but you don't want to make it too apparent. Because that's not what, you know, people have to see first. Perfect. Now that you have those contour lines done, you're just gonna go a little bit on the chin. Shouldn't even really be able to see it that much. Right, just gonna... Perfect. Now that we've got that part done, we're gonna go back in with our black. So we're gonna go back in with our Morphe 35B, and we're going to darken it because I said so. Yes. And just do a little bit here and a little bit there. Oh, a little bit too much. Actually, I'll just put it on my nose. Right, now I'm just gonna go back in with my purple, just to be safe. All right. Perfect. So all we needed was a little bit of contour on this part. We don't go all the way down. We don't make it insane. We don't do the forehead or anything. Now we're just gonna put the black here. Yeah. Perfect. Now that we have that part done, we're gonna go back in with our let's see, where is it? Our black lipstick. So this lipstick's gonna be a little bit more intense. We're gonna go and overline a lot. So I'm gonna make pointed edges. Okay. Okay. That's all right. So I did kind of mess it up a little bit, but that's all right. We can go back. Luckily, we can indeed go back. All right. And back in with our lipstick. We're just gonna use a bit of concealer because this is supposed to be kind of messily outlined, you know, but not insanely messy. All right. Perfect. And now we're just gonna go in with the neck area. Actually, before we do the neck area, I'm gonna do my liner because we will have eyeliner on this look. Of course. What are my looks without eyeliner? That's ridiculous. So, here we go. So this is my Elise Wattier eyeliner. I love this one so much. It's expensive, but it's totally worth it. I'm obsessed with it. It takes a long time for this thing to run out. And I put on a lot of liquid liner. So here we go. Perfect. Now that we have one wing, let's do the next. This one goes a little bit more up, but that's all right. All right, that's looking great. This one's a little bit thicker, so let's thicken this guy up. Awesome. I think we got it. Lit. So now that we've got our winged liner done, we're actually gonna go back and do the rest of our eyes before we do our neck. So what we're going to be using is, first I'm gonna use a Q-tip because I'm going to fix my liner because it's not sharp like this guy. So we're just gonna sharpen her. Okay, perfect. All right. Now we're gonna go back in and we're going to curl our lashes. Make sure that they're nice and curled. Perfect. Now we're going to get our mascara wherever she is. We'll find her. Oh, okay. Oh, there she is. Okay. Where are those lashes, though? Huh. No lashes, huh? That's odd. All right. No lashes. That's all right, fine. We're gonna take them from here. No, we're not. Never mind. We're going to. All right, fine. I'm gonna walk over this way. Grab some lashes. So these are my favorite types of lashes. These are the only ones I like to wear, unless otherwise. So I'm just gonna set them out for later. And we're gonna do our mascara. Oh, hello. All right. Perfect. Now we're gonna go in with our lashes. I'm so confused to where my other lashes went. I'm very sad about that. All right, well, these ones will have to do. Kind of ragged, but we'll go with them. So, we're just gonna put this on very, a lot. We're just splotching a lot of that on there. Whole lot of it. Here we go. Perfect. So we're gonna wait for that to dry, as usual. But so far so good. I'm really liking this look. It's you know, she's different. She's you know, very bold, very colorful. But we're not done yet. We still have the neck to do as well. Drop her there. Oh, hello. She wasn't ready, but I did it anyways. All right, now for the next lash. Watch this one pop up because it's still very wet. but I was too excited. I wanted that lash on me. All right, so we're just gonna go in there. Perfect. Yes, she's there. Oh, that glue. Yes. Now that we wait for our next one here, she needs some time because I put a lot on. Whole lot is on there. But besides that, it's pretty good. I guess while we're doing this, I'm just gonna talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing for our neck. So what's going to be happening with the neck area is that we will be putting purple, orange, black, and green. Really cool mixture. I love it. It's going to be a really interesting mixture of things that we're going to do. Very line oriented though, so we will need a more flat brush. Oh god, that one was also very wet. Okay. Yeah, alright. Yeah. Yay. That feels great. Ugh. That one's still wet too? Come on. Alright, well, it's okay. There we go. Just make sure that one stays where it's supposed to go. All right, now we're gonna start with our neck area. So I'm using a flat one. I'm using kind of like a more flat and larger brush for this, just because we're gonna also be using kind of like a brush stroke technique in the green color. So we're gonna start with our purple, and our purple has to be very, very vibrant. So we're actually gonna use kind of, we're gonna use a mixture of this color here from our Morphe 35B palette. We're also going to use this color up here, this more purpley, dark purple color. So, we're going to start by drawing kind of like a triangle on the neck like this. Very normal, very boring and normal. But yeah, that's how we're starting it. Make sure that goes all the way to the jaw there. Give it a hard edge. Perfect. Now that we have that kind of edge done, we're just gonna go back and sharpen it. This one's about sharpening a lot, so sharpen that a little bit. Not insanely, it doesn't matter too much, but you should sharpen it, definitely. Now, we're gonna, oh, hello. We're gonna clean our little brush, and we're gonna go back in with our orange. So our orange is gonna be in quite an interesting place, and I'm really excited to start doing this one. Come on, man, come on. Please don't. All right, let's see. Oh. All right, fine. We'll use a different brush. We'll use this guy. So, for our orange, we're going to start by, first we're going to start by picking the colors. So we're going to use the Morphe 35B once again. We're going to use our orange. And we're going to sort of outline our triangle. So go in there. Make sure that you're not blending them together. Make sure that they're very apparent with each other. and bring it all the way down. Gotta move my necklace a little bit. All the way down to here. That. And now, whoops, I'm gonna move my hair out of the way. And now back over this way. All right, we're getting there. We're just gonna thicken this line actually, just to be safe. All right. Perfect. Now that we have that line part done, we're gonna go back in with our green. So hopefully you've kind of given it, when you first look straight in, make sure that your line comes down to the point where you don't really see the neck, just a little bit of the neck area from here. Now we're just gonna go in with our green, but first I'm gonna clean my brush off a little bit. So our green is going to be a more bold green, and make sure that it doesn't look exactly the same as the rest of the colors on. So we're gonna go in with, I think we're gonna go in with this little guy right here. I think we're gonna mix a bit of this in it, but make sure it's not as apparent. So here we go. So this is the part where we do the strokes. Oh, I think we're also going to be mixing this guy just to give it a bit more color in it. All right, perfect. So here we go. Give it some strokes downwards like this. Make sure to be careful of the colors here. Perfect. And now we're just going to go into the darker green just to give it some more strokes, more visible strokes, more apparent ones, you know. Right. So this one's a little bit more streaky, this one's a little bit more, ooh, on the funny side. So we're actually gonna color that up a little bit more before we start with our dots. So we're gonna just go back in with our orange for a moment. And then we're gonna go back in with our purple, because I said so, and because we need to. So we're just gonna go back in with our purple for a moment and just fix the neck. Perfect. All right. Yeah, there we go. All right, perfect. Now that we finished that part, we're actually gonna go in with our dots. So your dots don't have to be perfect, of course, but they do need to be, you know, they need to show that they're dots, first of all. So we're gonna go back in with our Morphe 35B, of course, and we're gonna use our black color here. So for this one, we're just gonna do dots, just like this, you know, just dots, just dots. Nothing magical, just dots. Perfect. Make sure to do them down at the bottom. That one turned out a little wonky, but that's okay. Make sure that they're dark, make sure that they're a little bit more, you know, visible and everything. But so far, so good. I'm liking the dots besides this little part here. I may just take that part off, but besides that, that's looking pretty good. The dots, you know, they're showing that they're dots and everything, which is awesome. Now that we have finished that part of it, we're just gonna go back because I'm seeing a lot of color that's still visible here. So we're just gonna go back and put in a little bit more blue. So we're gonna try and use a, here we go. We're gonna use this brush here and we're gonna use our, of course, our Sugar Pill colors. And we're just gonna do a bit of a color fix. Just to give it kind of a smooth edge, but the blue is still prominent. Perfect. So, in conclusion, I love this look, and I'm also going to just show you all my actual chart. So this is my actual chart. As you see, it's a little bit more different, but looks slightly similar. I really like it. I think I really like how it turned out. It's very very avant-garde, very bright with color, maybe 80s-ish. I think that's the right era, 80s. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, you know, share this video wherever. And I hope you all have a good night, day, evening, afternoon, whatever you're doing. Thank you so much. Goodbye.